Well, good morning, or good afternoon, everybody. It's 1:45 on Friday. I think it's the 25th of July, 2025, and I'm out taking a run. I don't normally run at this time of the day, but I'm too lazy to get out of bed this morning. It was very cold at -3, so I decided to not run in the morning, but I thought the day might fine up a little bit. Running a little bit later in the day. I'm out here on Middle Arm Road for locals, running west, and my plan is to run to Norwood Road, which I think is about 4 k's away, and then turn around and come back. Hasn't turned out quite so fine, quite grey at the moment, and running into a bit of a headwind and up a hill, so perhaps not the brightest decision. One of the disadvantages of running this road is no path, no cycleway, anything like that. Shoulders a bit uneven and broken in parts, so make the best of it and keep your ears open to the traffic that's coming behind you so you can move over. Most of the cars and things give you a wide berth, but better to be safe and just move off the shoulder. Get heavy breathing, so I'm running up a hill, so apologies for that. Hopefully it's not too distracting, and hopefully the wind isn't too distracting either, or the wind noise you might be getting through the microphone. So I'm going to talk in this video about drugs in sport and have my 2 cents worth about that. Now, I'm not a chemist, a pharmacologist, anything like that. I'm just a bloke who's running, has some thoughts about it, and has a platform, if you like, in which to express an opinion. I'm not talking about recreational drugs. I have a view about those, but your decision, use them or not use them, is entirely yours. If you're in any sort of professional sport, you'll know that your governing body has policies and procedures for people who use recreational drugs, and you have to accept the consequences. I'm only talking about those drugs that are performance enhancing or that can be used to mask a performance enhancing substance. Now, I know the names of a few of those things, EPO and HCTZ or ZT, whatever it is, and a few others. But like I said, I'm not a pharmacologist, I'm not a biochemist, so my thoughts are all to do with the principle, or the principles and the implications and so forth of using performance enhancing drugs, not of a particular drug, because I have no knowledge of any of that. Now, I suppose the first issue that I have with the use of performance enhancing drugs is that it almost means now that anytime you hear of someone breaking a record, be it swimming, running, jumping, whatever, the assumption is, rightly or wrongly, that they must have taken something in order to achieve that. Now, a healthy dose of skepticism isn't in itself a bad thing. But if our default position is, well, that person just broke a record for whatever, and our default position is, well, they must have cheated. What did they take? That's a sad thing, I think, because records are made to be broken, and people will train and test themselves and attempt to break a record. Somebody once said a sub 4 minute mile was impossible, and yet it was done. People are saying women will never run under 4 minutes, and yet it will be done one day. I don't know when, and I don't know by who, but I feel as if it will be done eventually. So the idea that somebody who broke a record must have had chemical assistance and cheated is, I think, a sad thing. The second issue with people using performance enhancing substances is that it calls into question, and rightly so, the integrity of the sport. Both from the point of view of the people and the event, both from the point of view of the people who are participating in the sport or the event, and of the spectators and fans who buy the tickets and the merchandise and all that sort of stuff. And what I mean by that is, well, let's start with the participants. If you line up on the start line of a race, right, running, you want to assume that everybody else is as clean as you are. You took nothing, you watched your diet, you only ate foods that you knew contained no banned substances, whatever. If you took a medication for a headache or whatever it was, you checked the ingredients on the pack. You maybe even rang the doping people and said, I've got a prescription for X medication. Is it okay if I take it? And all that sort of stuff. You did all that because you want to be the best athlete you can be, whether it's running or jumping, swimming, football, whatever it is. You want to be the best athlete you can be, but you want to be so because of your natural ability and your training and coaching and so on, and not because of some chemical enhancement. You like to think and you look right, look left, and look in front of you. If it's one of those distance races like the City to Surf or something, for example, that all the people around you are all of the same disposition. Nobody took anything or used anything that would enhance their performance. And if it later turns out that somebody did, then that taints the sport. We say, oh, they're all cheats. And people running in the event, let's say, are all naturally upset and discouraged because they thought, well, I was as clean as a whistle. That other person, they're loaded to the gills with illegal substances. And now they ruined the reputation of the event. And I don't want to run against them anymore. So you've ruined the reputation of the event by taking your substance. You've ruined the integrity of the event as a clean sport event that is now can be used to qualify for other events. And you've tainted, as I said, the sport. Now for the spectators, you've got people who are there to support various athletes. Everybody's got their hero. Your hero wins. It turns out they've taken something they weren't supposed to. You're disillusioned. Your hero has let you down. You're disillusioned to think that person cheated. If your hero came second or third or whatever, and it turns out the person who won the event tested positive to something, you're equally disillusioned because you think, well, if that person hadn't taken that thing, my mate, my hero, would have won. And so now I don't trust the sport anymore. I'm not going to watch it anymore. I'm not going to follow that person anymore. I want that person that cheated banned for life or whatever it is that you feel that you now are disillusioned. Another issue I have with the use of banned substances, whether they are the performance enhancing one or the one that masks the performance enhancing one, is that long term we know these things have pretty awful effects on the human body. They affect all sorts of organs. They affect the reproductive system and all sorts of systems in the body. And it makes no difference that the person who is jabbing the syringe into you is wearing a white lab coat and maybe even got a stethoscope dangled around their neck, they're still giving you something that long term can and probably will have some pretty serious effects on your body. And when you're long finished running for your team or doing whatever it is your sport is for your team or your country or the company or whatever it is, and you're forgotten, you'll be carrying and beginning to feel the impact of those illegal substances. So they don't have an effect straight away. So you might think, well, I used it once and that's okay. And perhaps it is, I don't know. But history tends to suggest that if you did it once, you're probably going to do it again. And so the one-off thing won't be a one-off, and there will be long-term effects on your body, and those long-term effects they're not curable, they're permanent. So what am I saying here? I suppose the main point I'm trying to make is we want sport to be a contest of human ability. How good are you? How good is the person next to you? Did they do better than you today because they trained better, had a better coach, ate a different diet or a better diet? You want to be able to say at the end of the event, well, I was beaten by a better person today, and that be the case, rather than saying, well, I was beaten, I don't know if it was a better person or the chemical assistance that they had. So those are my thoughts on performance enhancing substances and their use. If you have an opinion or a comment, you can leave it in the comment section and I will respond when I become aware of it. My request to you would be, make a comment based on the content, that is what I've said, and if I'm factually incorrect somewhere, then I'm happy to be corrected and have my error pointed out to me. Hopefully, if you're a sports person, professional or amateur, or just some old geezer like me that is out running, when you're doing events in your sport, whatever it is, and there are other people involved, you are able to say with confidence that everything that happened in that event today was legit. Whether it was the park run or the 10k you entered or a half marathon or something else, hopefully you're able to say, well, everything that happened today was legit. Nobody here did anything untoward, and the results that were obtained were all fair and reasonable. All right. thank you for watching. Those who are interested, about 3.38 k's into this, what I said was about 4 k's. So I don't know how far ahead you can see, but I suspect that, and I hope, on the other side of that rise is the turn off that I was looking for, or the turnaround point. As I said, thank you for watching, and I will catch you when I'm making the next running video. Just so you know, this Norwood Road here is where I said I would turn around. It is 4.57 k's where I started, about 4 k's that way is a Crookle Road, about 15 or so k's that way is Middle Arm, which is a locality rather than a village or anything. Back that way east towards Goulburn at a CBD, and that way would be north, ultimately towards Sydney. So we'll start the return leg. I know I had said thank you for watching and all that sort of stuff, and I did mean that, but I wanted people to know that I had made it to this point here in about 28 minutes, so no great time scale, but we're off again going back. So this time definitely thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.